Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am going to be working on week 15 in my 2020 Project Life album. Today I am using the new CRAVE mini kit from Citrus Twist plus the digital printables from May. I gotta say, I mean, I know I say it every time, but I gotta say, I adore this kit. So good. And these printable cards, I love them. I have printed so many of them. I've used them for so many projects. You're going to see throughout this month. They are so good. As well as the printable like Project Life cards, I have also got some of the Traveler's Notebook papers. I love these because they're so easy to cut down into 4x6 cards, which I use a lot of. So having those digital Traveler's Notebook papers is super handy. I've changed the paper that I print my digitals on. I'm using some Canon matte photo paper, and I gotta say, I love it. The colors are super bright and super crisp, so that's my new favorite paper for printing my digitals on. You can see them here, lots of bright colors in this particular kind of collection. Colors I wouldn't necessarily put together, but I absolutely love, like red and purple. So good. So I've basically laid out my cards. I've got a few photos. Now this was one of those weeks where I actually had a ton of photos. We had a pretty eventful week. My husband Shane turned 45. We had some sort of mini travels in there, sort of local mini travels. I went on a very small vacation to see some family. So I had a ton of photos, but what I've done is just been a little bit more choosy about what kind of photos I'm printing for this week. I really have let the theme of the kit, which is CRAVE, dictate what photos I put in this particular album, so in my Project Life album, and all of those other photos that I really want to print and document will end up in either my Life Crafted album or my Traveler's Notebook for May. So I started with the ephemera pack and just went through all of those die cuts as always. There's millions in there. I have to be a little bit choosy. I did pull out more than one for each kind of card here. I'm going to be a little bit more selective about which ones I put on here now that I'm down to the kind of final choosing. This one here, Mood Booster, totally. We went for this gorgeous little drive, like really lapped up the sunshine, enjoyed the views of our local city. It was just a really nice way to spend the afternoon. So Mood Booster totally works for me on here. It's just a little bit larger. I was going to reprint the photo, just recrop it so that I got a little bit more blank space, but you know me, I don't like wasting paper or printer ink like that, so I'm just going to make it work. I'm going to stack up these two words. They're probably not quite how they were intended to be. I think they probably should have been a little bit more spread out than what they are, but I love them in here, so I'm going to pop those on. I glued those down with some liquid adhesive, with some of that scrapbook.com smart glue, and then I'm going to add one of these chipboard pieces onto the bottom. I absolutely love the chipboard this month. It's not super thick. It's like that really kind of nice thin chipboard, but also it's not an actual kind of chipboard color. So the color of the card behind the printed piece is white, which I love. I know it's such a tiny little detail, but to me, I really love the clean lines that it gives. So I'm loving the chipboard this month. Now I did just nip away and type my journaling out on that 3x4 card, and I know that when you're using digital printables, it is just as easy to type your journaling onto those printables before you go ahead and print them. But I'll be honest, I never really know which ones of the printables I'm going to use for what, so I just print a whole bunch of blank ones, and it means that I do have to go back in and retype my journaling. I have no problem doing that. I don't plan enough ahead to kind of skip that extra step, so I have to just kind of put up with that messy hand typed look rather than doing it in Photoshop or something like that. Now I'm working on my other 4x6 photo, and I have added the little, I guess it's like a torn note paper die cut. And then I layered another one on top that says comfort food. I love the purples. There's a whole lot of blue and kind of red that I'm incorporating into this particular week. And I guess when I say red, I also mean that light coral color as well. But one of the things that I loved from this kit were those little pops of purple, and combining them with the red and blue. It's a color scheme I probably would never have picked without this kit showing me how, but I love those three colors together. They are just so cute and so different. So you can see me desperately trying to fit these little strawberries in here. I mean, it made sense because I had strawberries on my plate. I wanted to add that little pop of red up there, but I just could not make them work with the other die cuts that I had already picked. So I kind of gave up, and then I accidentally ended up adding red into there anyway because I added a chipboard onto the 3x4 photo of Shane's birthday. So it kind of solved my problem. I'm keeping this run really simple too. I've added the little purple die cut, and there is a wee red puffy sticker heart. I have used a few of the puffy stickers already, but the red heart I thought I could add, but it just got lost in the background. So in the end, I decided to keep things a little bit more on the simple side and just left it with that one particular die cut. I'm actually going to add in a second little journaling story into this week. I don't often do that, but I had the space for it. And this photo with Jack, it's kind of a different, like, it almost feels like a different week to the rest of the photos. It was a different event anyway, so I decided that it could handle its own little story. I printed out one of the digital cards and I completely covered up the sentiment that was on it with his photo. So I'm going to add a little bit of color back in with one of those floral pieces. It gives me a wee touch of purple and a little space to add another sentiment just to fill up that gap kind of that my typing left in there. I did run that die cut over the edge of the card, so I'm just going to trim that up a little bit. And then really all I've got left to do is work on my title card. I sort of left this till the end, and I'm glad I did, because the idea I had at the start was to use this beautiful blue card, but it would have been like way too overwhelming with all of the blue, especially with that heavy blue 4x6 photo down the bottom. So in the end, I'm going to use the kind of peachy, it's a very light peachy colored card, but I am going to use a little touch of that blue. So I just cut a strip off the bottom of it. And that's the beauty with these digital cards, is I can do that. And if I do decide I want to use that card again, I'll just reprint myself another one. So another reason I love digital so much. But I used that strip and a border punch just to kind of echo that notebook paper die cut that I used up the top as well. Just gives it a little bit of texture, but basically I'm creating a wee shelf to pop my title on. There are some minty green alphas in the CRAVE mini kit. I don't have them myself. They didn't arrive in time for me to use them for this video. So I am using some of these white puffy alphas from the Back to Basics collection. I just want to keep this really light just so that the kind of rest of the colors in the kit stand out. So I'm using white. It's definitely not as hard to see in real life as it is on this video. I assure you the alphas are there. The actual grid design of that that digital paper means that it was super easy to line everything up straight, my stamping and my alphas this week. You gotta love a grid paper. I decided to use I think it's the lunar numbers, but rather than the solid ones, I just used the outline in black. Like a lot of my photos have black in it. I didn't want to overwhelm the rest of the spread with some great big black numbers, so I've added a little bit of black in there with the outline, but it's still kind of light and bright to balance out the rest of the spread. What I do need to add in here is a little bit of red though, so I grabbed a label from my pre-printed digital cup of labels there, making sure I could get the kind of matching as close as I can to the really bright red of this collection. It's not next to anything super red, so it doesn't matter that it's not exactly the same red as the rest of the collection. It still just pulls up a little bit of that red color and gives kind of a focal point to the whole title card. I'm going to date stamp in black and add my little gel pen heart. I did look to see whether there was anything else I wanted to add to the title card, but I think I'm just going to keep it simple and call this spread completely finished. I love this collection so much, so I will leave the link for you down in the description box if you want to pick up any of it for yourself. Hey guys, thanks for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there are a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye!